I've had growth.
All right.
Right, I've got an old account.
Yeah.
Right, that was like my first Facebook account.
Yeah.
That I got to a point in my life where I said "fuck you all," and then just made a new one.
I still go on there to look at my old photos.
Yeah. But so I logged onto it the other day.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I grew from it, right? But I sent you a lot of abuse because you had tagged that old profile as well as another profile as well as your wife to get free pizza or to be put into a pizza raffle.
See, yeah. Now,
and I was like, how dare you do this? Loads of comments about how dare you do this? I feel raped.
Right.
And you're just using my identity for pizza.
Yeah.
And I left it for like an hour and I was like, you just want some pizza.
Yeah,
So
I didn't see anything.
Yeah, I had loads of comments on every single, because it's been like every fortnight for a couple of weeks.
See, I had this moral thing which is just like, I want pizza.
Yeah.
And there's this place that pulls up in Sandbach every week, and they'd like tag 3 friends, and you might win some pizza. It's like, well, it's fair enough. We buy from there anyway. It'd be good if it was free. And so I tag people who I know I'm not going to bother.
Yeah.
But I have a moral issue with tagging dead friends. So I tag accounts.
You won't share your pizza with the dead.
Well, I don't know. That it feels, for some reason, it feels disrespectful
To use their death.
to
Use their memories for pizza.
because I've still got the accounts of like 4 or 5 dead people. So like so I tag people who who don't use the accounts if I know they're inactive or / don't exist. Hint, hint.
Yeah. Which again makes sense, but it's an account that I've checked once a year, maybe.
Yeah. I was
for
surprised
old pictures
that
because
you
like
accepted like an invite to the videography page thing. So I was just like,
well, it's an extra.
yeah.
Well, you know.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even realize you went on it.
I don't.
I thought it was one of those things where it's just like I don't even have the email address to that shit anymore.
I didn't. I had to go back on it recently because it's got a load of photos on it and some of them are private.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I swear I had photos of this thing. And I went on the account. I was like, oh yeah, it's under the private list. So I was looking at it.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, it's chat notifications because it's always weird. Because there's people on there that I'm just not friends with anymore.
Yeah. There's probably about 6 weeks, I think. For the last 6 weeks, I've tagged you in that.
Yeah, and
thing.
I was just like, oh, it was almost as if logging into. How old was I when I did that? Probably 4 years ago. Probably 4 or 5 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
So like 26, probably 25. It's almost as if logging into that account brought me back to that self. I was like, oh, I was going to tell Steve he's a horrible person. Send him some hate. I mean, I still do that.
Still
but
do.
It was more.
Not as intense
back in
anymore because you were more socially active then.
Yeah,
I think.
Well, just back then as well, like in terms of the pizza, like saying that you tagging me for free pizza is rape. I was like, that seems like a 25-year-old Nick joke. That's when I knew I was self-aware that I was stuck in a loop and only making the same joke.
There's only one layer to that joke.
Exactly. It's just, he's overreacting. Yeah. But he's not overreacting enough.
Yeah.
To make more. So I grew. I was like, for an hour, I was just like, and then I had the you just want some free pizza. It's like, I'm going to deny him free pizza. I'm getting older now. Why is it? Let him have not even guaranteed free pizza, just a chance.
Just a chance.
At free pizza. I can't. What was it that Carl Kinane says? I'm not a goalie for your life's dreams. Like my existence in life is not to prevent you from getting your goals.
Yeah.
So it's like, have a chance at free pizza. So yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
It's so hot.
It's
hot.
It's bad.
It's hot. Oh, social media. That's how I got into that, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So, we've had basically with the all the news segments, we get so many of them, and we get we should get some oil for this weird armed chair. Should we just keep it like that? It's fine.
No, please. I'll fix
don't
it.
move. So we got loads of extra bits that we kind of always get kind of pushed aside eventually, and it's always keeping trying getting back in. So I figure might as well catch up on that as well as some more interpersonal stuff.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Yay. Before that, we are halfway through the first week of being productive and writing a minute-long thing. Have you had any progress with that?
Yeah, well, so I've done that thing where it's like you try and brainstorm the idea and you come up with one idea, and now you can't get past that idea, even though I don't think it's that good. It's just the first thing I came across.
Right, you just don't want to think of another premise.
No.
You think there's something to do with it and you haven't realised it yet. I get that.
Yeah.
That's what I get.
Yeah.
It's like, I know that there's something funny in this, but I don't know what.
I've got the beginning and the middle, and the end is sort of somewhere.
Yeah.
It's sort of there, but it's just like I can't spend too long trying to find that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's got to be done next week. So it's whether I'm like, well, abandon the whole premise and try and find something new, or keep racking my brain over this one thing.
Yeah. I think I've got the basic structure of a minute-long idea. And to refresh, this is no excuses, motivation, stimulus to make a minute-long video about. And yeah, by the time this releases, it should probably already be released.
Yes.
So, well done.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, thanks.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I come up with the idea of kind of a structure for it and go, oh, this is kind of a bit too predictable now. For me.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, yeah, so, that premise has already been done, that premise has already been done. And it's like, oh, what about this? Well, you need to hire a church. Oh. I don't want to hire a church.
Yeah, no.
So, oh, yeah, you need all this. Like, the point is to make it as simple as possible.
Yeah, no, mine is like pretty honed in on what I've got access to.
Yeah.
So
then just need to, set up stuff and organise it. But that's not even until next week in our time. We're just still writing it. And then in a couple of days, we decide what we've written. And we go, okay, now, don't have to declare what we've written, but be at a point where it's like, right, we've been written, and now the next week is to try and produce it.
Yeah.
If that's doable. So so let's go into some things. I'll tell you what, I'll intersperse it
with
the interpersonal stuff.
Okay.
Well, first of all, this is the wrong document, so this is good.
Okay.
Let me. It's gonna take me a while now.
Oh, it's hot.
It's very hot. Right, I think that's the one. I can't zoom in. It gets all confused. Impersonal or news? Choose one.
Start with news.
News. This one I didn't think was very funny, so I didn't tell it.
All right.
The UK ambassador
I'm
to
glad
the
I
US, Sir Kim Darroch, was tasked with compiling a briefing note on Donald Trump's personality and leadership style just a few months after he became president. Below are some of the highlights. So this is just like an ambassador's note to other countries.
How to deal with Donald Trump. Right,
basically.
okay.
So, for a man who has risen to the highest office on the planet, Trump radiates insecurity. There's no filter, and we could also be at the beginning of a downward spiral rather than just a roller coaster. I don't care about Trump. I just like this as a description of a person who's got some power, who other people are being given a note. Like if you went on a podcast to do an interview, and there's like, this is like before, it's like, just you need to know some things about Steve.
Yeah.
I just gave them a note, and it would be anything like this. It might be a downward spiral, not just a roller coaster. So if you think you're on a roller coaster, brace yourself.
Yeah.
It might get worse. Something could emerge that leads to a disgrace and a downfall. Just so you know, in this interview, there might be a disgrace. About his administration, the stories about White House knife fights are, we judge, mostly true. Mostly true.
Knife fights?
White House knife fights.
Like literally knife fights?
Yeah. Mostly true. Not all of them. Just most. Just, like 70-80% of all the knife fight stories you hear happening in the White House are true. Multiple sources and confirmed by our own White House contacts. Wasn't enough that this guy got sources said it was true, and still this ambassador was like, it can't be true. They're not having knife fights. Send our own guy in. And the guy came back, it's like covered in cuts. It's true. It's definitely, there's loads. And not all of them are true, but like at least 80%. Yeah. This is a uniquely dysfunctional environment. Yeah, knife fights.
Yeah. You
can't have a knife fight at work and still work.
Yeah.
It's bad enough when it's someone's birthday and someone's passing around the card. No, it's Dave's knife fight today. Oh, everyone gather round. How to deal with him. You need to start praising him for something he has done recently. You need, whenever possible, to present them as wins for him.
Okay.
You need to present praising him for something he's done as a win, as opposed to praising it as a loss.
Yeah.
Just like a really. I think he's saying praise him massively.
Yeah.
So good. You're so good. A senior White House advisor told me there is no upside with this president in being subtle, let alone ambiguous. Don't be subtle. Just say, yes! On his chance of a second term, Trump may emerge from the flames battered but intact like Schwarzenegger in the final scenes of The Terminator.
Really?
Yeah.
They wrote that on a thing.
And send. The world is a serious place. Send.
Yeah.
Getting that in your inbox. He might be the Terminator. His career, his chance of a second term is like the film The Terminator. Where humanity's only hope is just pushed back a couple of years because fate is inevitable.
Yeah.
And there is no fate but what we make is kind of... I don't know what they were trying to say with that. Because I get what they were saying in the first couple of films.
Yeah.
The slogan was, there is no fate but what we make. And that was like, oh, the future's not guaranteed. But then I swear as the franchise went on, it was like, no, it's guaranteed. Machines will take over the world. And that was the point of it. You were just kind of delaying it.
I don't remember all too much about it, to be honest.
Yeah. The later films were pretty good, to be fair.
I didn't watch the latest ones.
The third one was a bit... I remember being a little bit weak, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
And then, the most recent one, that isn't the new one, because I haven't seen that yet. It's not out yet, I don't think, but it looks pretty cool. But the second to most recent after the new one comes out. It's a few.
Something to be fucking do.